Hello ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. My name is Mr. Do and science is my business. You are welcome to Mr. Do Scienceworld. And today we are going to talk about the derivatives of a logarithmic function. We want to look at a log, how we can take the derivative of a log, where we are given a log and we want to see how we can find the derivative of that. So let's begin straight away by diving into solving problems. Let's look at the problem that we are going to solve for the day. Okay, let's look at the first question that we will have here. We are having a question which says that differentiate each of the following functions. And let's see the functions that we are given to differentiate so that we will see how we'll be able to differentiate the functions. Okay, so we have to differentiate the function. Number one is y is equal to, let me change the marker, let's see. Y is equals to e exponent 2x plus ln x. That is the first question that we are given. And then the question number two, we are given y is equals to square root of x squared plus e exponent 4x. Okay, so these are the functions that we are given and we are told to differentiate or to find the derivatives of these functions. So let's see how we can find the derivative of these functions. Yeah, let's try with the first one. So we'll begin with the question number one. And the question number one, we are given y is equals to e exponent x plus ln x. So we can write this by applying the exponential laws. And if you apply exponential law, there is an addition sign here, so it will tend to become multiplication. So these can be transformed into e exponent 2x multiplied by e exponent ln x. And when we have this, one thing we have to know is that whenever we have e ln x, it will simply become what? X. So if we have that as our function, then we can write y is equals to this function, y equals to 2 exponent x plus ln x. We can write it as what? We can just simply write it as x e exponent what? 2x. Straight away from here. And once we have this, we can apply the product rule to solve this problem. So if you apply the product rule, that means that we are going to keep this one and then we'll differentiate this. And then we will add it to keeping this, differentiating this, and keeping this as well. So let's try and see. Here, the y, the x, it's simply just going to be u, the v, the x, plus v, du, the x. So we are keeping one and differentiating one, and then that will give us what we are looking for. And this is the product rule. So let's assume that our u is x and our v is e exponent x. So that we'll find the u, the x. I'm going to differentiate this, okay, with respect to the x, and that is going to be what? 1. So that will be 1, and then I need to find the v, the x. And what is the v, the x going to give me? If I differentiate this, I'm going to have 2e exponent 2x. Now that I have gotten this, I can then apply the product rule formula, do the substitution, and see what we're going to have. So the y, the x is now going to be equals to u, and our u is x, is multiplied by what? The v, the x, and the v, the x is what? Is 2e exponent 2x plus v, and v is now e exponent 2x, and we're going to multiply that by du the x, and du the x is what? Is 1. So we have this. Now we need to simplify and find the final answer. So the y dx is now going to be 2x e exponent 2x plus e exponent 2x. Now e exponent 2x is common. We can factor that out if we don't want to leave our answer like this. We can factor that out or we leave it like this. So let's assume I want to factor that out. So the y dx is now going to give me e exponent 2x into what? 2x plus 1 plus 1. And that becomes the what? The derivative of the function that we were given for number 1. Now let's try and solve the question number 2. To solve question number 2, let's try and see if we can do question number 2 on the side. So we want to solve question number 2, and the question number 2 is given to us as y is equals to the square root of x squared plus e exponent 4x. Okay, all right, let me use this x. And now we are going to solve for the problem here. So let's see, how can we solve this problem? We can change square root to become what? An exponent power of half. So we can just write this as y is equals to x squared plus e exponent 4x, or exponent what? 1/2. And once we are given this, or we are able to express that in this form, then we can apply the power rule or the chain rule. So you want to apply the power rule or you want to apply the chain rule. And to apply the power rule to this, that means that our the y dx is now simply going to give us, when we are differentiating the whole function here, so it is 1/2, okay, x squared plus e exponent 4x. And when we have that, we are going to multiply that by differentiating what is in the bracket again. We have differentiated the whole function, but what is in the bracket is also what? A function. So we need to differentiate that function as well. So x squared is now going to give us what? 2x, and then plus, we are differentiating this, and that is going to give us what? It's going to give us 4, and that is 4e exponent what? 4x. Now we've been able to differentiate that function. When we differentiated this, this should give us what? Negative of this. Because that is 1/2 minus 1. And that should give us what? An exponent of what? Negative 1/2. Okay. Now we have gotten that. We need to then simplify that and see what we are going to have. These can be written as 1/2 into 2x plus 4 e exponent 4x divided by x squared plus e exponent 4x exponent positive. So we've changed the negative exponent into what? The positive exponent. And then from here, we will see how we can simplify the problem from here. Okay, well, we are going to change this exponent half into what? A square root. So that this is going to give us 2x plus 4 e exponent 4x divided by 2 square root of x squared plus e exponent 4x. Now we have gotten this. Once we have gotten it, we can see here there is 2 here and here there is 4. We can factor out the 2. So let's try and factor out 2 and see how we can have our final answer to be. So 2 is factored out. We have an x plus 2e exponent 4x divided by 2 square root of x squared plus e exponent what? 4x. Exponent 4x. We have gotten that. Now let's see. The 2 is going to cancel these 2. And what are we going to have as our final answer? We are having our final answer, which is the y dx to now be equals to x plus 2e exponent 4x divided by the square root of x squared plus e exponent 4x. And that becomes the what? The derivative of that function that we were given. That is the question number 2, the function that what we were given. When we find a derivative, we should be given this. Let's try one more question and let's see. So let's try question number 3. Okay, let's solve question number 3. What is the question number 3 saying? Question number 3 wants us to find the derivative of this function. And the function is y is equals to e exponent x minus e exponent negative x divided by e exponent x plus e exponent negative x. Right. This is what we are told to find the derivative. So we are told to find the derivative of this function. What do we need to do? Well, we know that there is a function divided by another function, so we can simply apply the quotient rule. And if you apply the quotient rule, then we are trying to say that the y, the x, is now being equals to v du, the x, minus u, the v dx, divided by v squared. That is the quotient rule, and that is what we are going to apply in solving the problem. So let's see how we can solve the problem. We say, let's assume that our v is now ex plus e exponent negative x, and now let's find the v dx. The v dx is going to give us e exponent x minus e exponent negative x. And then we are going to u to be equals to, so from here, let our u be equals to e exponent x minus e exponent negative x. So that we can find du dx, and that is going to give us e exponent x plus e exponent negative x. And once we have done that, we need to then substitute this into the quotient rule, and then we'll solve for that problem. So to do that, we say that the y dx is now equal to v is now e exponent x plus e exponent negative x, and we are going to multiply that by du dx, and du, the x, this is du dx, which is e exponent x plus e exponent negative x. Minus sign is there. And we need to then go for u, and u is giving us e exponent x minus e exponent negative x. And we are going to multiply that one by the v dx. The v dx is given to us as e exponent x minus e exponent negative x. And we are dividing all these by v, which is e exponent x plus e exponent negative x, and we will square that. Alright, so now that we have gotten this one, to find the y dx, we are just simply going to have, we multiply that, so this will give us e exponent 2x plus 2e exponent x, e exponent negative x plus e exponent negative 2x, okay, and then minus sign, and And this is going to give us e exponent 2x minus 2e exponent x, e exponent x, plus e exponent negative 2x, all divided by e exponent x plus e exponent negative x squared. We don't need to expand this, so let's just resolve the one that is at the top. So the y dx is now going to be, we are opening the bracket there so we can see that we're going to have e 2x plus 2ex e exponent x plus 2 negative 2x minus e exponent 2x plus 2e exponent x e exponent negative x minus e exponent negative 2x. Okay, and then all divided by what we have there, ex plus e negative x squared. Now from here we can see now this and this is going to cancel out, and then this and that is also going to cancel out. So we are going to be left with this one and this one, and that is simply just going to be that the y, the x is now going to be 2 and 2 of that will be 4ex e exponent x divided by e exponent x plus e exponent negative x all squared. And remember exponential law, so that these can simply be written as 4 e exponent x, the multiplication sign is there, so plus negative x divided by e exponent x plus e exponent negative x all squared. And from here we can then find out that this and this is going to be cancelled and become 0. Anything raised to the power 0 is going to give us what? 1. So this is like 4 e exponent 0 equals to e exponent x plus e exponent negative what? X all squared. And then finally we can say that the y, the x is now simply going to give us what? 4 divided by e exponent x plus e exponent negative x all squared. That will be the derivative of the function that we were given to solve. So we have to know that anytime that we are given a function like this, which is what logarithmic function, you'll be able to find what the derivative of that of that function. Thank you very much for watching this video. Please, if you have not subscribed to Mr. Do Scienceworld YouTube channel, please do so. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, and as you subscribe, please click on the notification bell so that anytime we release any new video, you'll be the first person to watch it. See you next time. Bye bye.